Hi, I'm Mr. Miyagi and this is Mr. Miyagi's Workshop. Well, today we're going to work on ignition switches for the XS650. Well, here's a nice little XS650 switch. It's got a key. But let's say you bought a bike and it doesn't have a key and you want to test the bike out. How the heck am I going to do that? Well, there's several different ways you can do it, so let's get to it. So this switch, you don't have a key for it. So what am I going to do? Well, it does have a plug-in, even though this one's pretty ratty. That plug-in should look pretty nice like that. What that ignition switch does is it plugs in inside the headlight into the main wiring harness, where you have a power from the battery, where a light which powers up your lighting system, and the main power for your ignition and other odds and ends on your bike. So you got to be able to plug into this. Now there's a couple of ways that you can do this. You can disconnect your switch totally. You just unplug this, and you can go to your local hardware store or auto parts store and get this style of blade that'll slide in there. So you can attach wires to that and jump across to start the bike. But let's say you don't want to have to do that every time, jumping across the wires and stuff, just so you can run the bike. Well, what you can do is that you can snip this off, since, you know, the switch is bad. I mean, well, it's bad, or you don't have a key, so you don't need it. But what you do need is that plug-in. And then on that occasion, you could get a universal ignition switch, which you could plug the wiring on and use that to go. Or you could get just a single one that you hooked on the ignition and the lighting on one side and the power on the other, and then you have that. Or you could get a fancy toggle switch and put in there 3-wire or 2-wire, and just have that sitting somewhere. Or you can get the handy dandy one, the toggle switch here. I did pull this off of a bike one for starting. That's how they had it set up. Believe it or not, that's on, that's off. That was it. That was the ignition system. So you can see that it's fairly easy, you know, once you determine where your switch plugs in. Now, that's great for, I believe, from 1975 on, is having this 3-wire plug. Now, if you have an earlier style, which would be this is like 1974 and down to 1970, you're going to have a plug-in system here. So here again, you got power, you've got lights, you've got ignition. This is power for the light switch. So you can literally turn the headlight off on the earlier models and kickstart. It still operates with the rest of this, but you tie in. You're going to plug in your hot lead for that, and you're good to go. That's the only difference on that. Sometimes you'll have to play around with the wiring just a touch to figure out exactly whether I was right or wrong there. It should work, putting a toggle switch or a regular switch. Or the other route is to go, and you can go online and buy a replacement toggle. Now, I believe Mike's XS, of course, eBay, you could probably find them out there all over the place on those. I haven't checked. There used to be a gentleman on eBay that did replacement keys. You did have to know the number of what was going on, and I don't remember what I sent in to him because I had a missing key, and I was able to come up. I think I sent him the year and the model number and a few other items, but he sent me a key, and I was able to replace it and have the ignition. Now, I don't know whether he's still working online or not. Like I said, you can do the simple thing, get a couple of these, or you can even just shove some bare wires down inside, just a big loop, to see whether it's going to start or not. That would be a start. So your options are, you can see if you can get a key made, or you buy a complete unit from either Mike's XS or Lowbrow might have them. TC Brothers may have them too. I don't know. I think they all get them from the same spot. Go on eBay, check on there to see if they have an ignition switch for your model. You can put in a 3-wire switch, so you could have ignition and then lights. You can set that up, or you could just go with a 2-wire to where you have off or on, and wire off one side your lights in the ignition and power on the other. Or you can use a toggle switch. And of course, the simple way is just doing a jump across between your ignition and your power, just to check out the system to see whether it would work or not. Well, as always, if you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the comment section below, or you can send them to my email address at tmiyagi@hotmail.com. I hope I've answered some of the questions out there, on this not having a key for your ignition and how you can get around it in a way. But if you've liked this episode, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that ringy-dingy button for the next episode coming up. So this is Mr. Miyagi saying, be safe out there. Hope to see you on the road. Ciao.